Okay, in the first 15 minutes of this video, we talked about some philosophy, the risk and emotions in trading. And I took some notes while I was talking with Scott, and we just kind of went through a few things that I think were really important to set the stage for what's going to come in the future videos in this series. And so what I'm going to do here is just kind of review what we talked about. It's very important that you understand that his philosophy is that price is everything. Price action is everything, as he showed us and what he told us in that first 15-minute section. And so really the only thing that he looks at is the open, high, low, and close. And it's the only thing that matters to him in this methodology for determining price action is following the smart money. And so, as I mentioned, Thomas Bukowski is one of my favorite technical analysts. He wrote the Encyclopedia of Charting and Technical Analysis, and he made the statement also in his book, in a foreword to his book, is that fundamentals are already included in price, and it's the footprint of smart money. And so all of the things that you think are just fundamentals, let's say you're investing in a company and you believe that the company is doing a really good job and they're gaining market share and their earnings are really, really good, and they're highly productive, and so you believe in fundamentally in what they're producing. You believe fundamentally in the direction that they're going. You have a great deal of faith in their CEO and their executive committee and their board to propel that company into the future, making a profit. Well, all of that information is already in the price. And so that's exactly what he was talking about in this case, is that price is everything. And the price includes what we look at in charts. It's the footprint of smart money. It doesn't matter what your trading is, price is still everything. So whatever market you're in, whether it's Forex, whether it's stocks, whether it's cryptocurrencies, it doesn't matter. Everything is included in the price already. And so you don't have to do analysis based on the fundamentals. You don't have to know whether or not a certain country is interested in devaluing their currency. You can see that directly in the charts. You don't have to look in whether or not Ripple has a new partnership to expand the XRP ecosystem. You don't have to know whether or not Bitcoin is the Lightning Network is actually starting to ramp up, because you'll see evidence of that in the price of Bitcoin and the price of XRP and other digital assets. And so when you think about markets totally, all you have to do is look at the chart, and you can kind of determine, based on this methodology, if there is in fact insider buying, smart money, whatever you want to call it. People are in there buying, and it's also the herd. I mean, you're talking about a herd of people. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. I don't want to get too far ahead here. Professional traders know where they will get out before they get in. And so you kind of know exactly what your target is, and we're going to go through some of those targets in the next series of videos. But you have to have a game plan before going in. You just can't wing it. You just can't say, oh, I think it's going up, so I'm going to buy here, without looking at some of the specific price action that we're going to be talking about. Learn to trade with smart money or become part of the 95% that lose was a really, really big lesson in this first 15-minute segment. So if you trade with a smart money, you're generally going to have the odds in your favor. You're going to put all of the probabilities in your favor. And it's one of the reasons why 95% lose in the markets, because they don't follow the smart money. They don't understand herding. They don't understand what's really going on in the market. They don't understand what's going on. And now, when we do go through an example of a chart, you'll notice that he doesn't use volume figures at all. The only thing he uses is the candlesticks themselves to determine where the smart money is buying, where they're accumulating, where they're distributing, and the markup, and when they're distributing in this particular example that we're going to be using. Mastering risk is absolutely critical. Although he didn't really state it, never risk more than 1% of your capital on any one trade. And that's a hard and fast rule for all traders. Because if you risk more than 1% of your capital, it means that if you're doing, like, let's say 5 or 10% of your capital and you really want to go big, it only takes a few trades before you're completely wiped out. So you never want to risk more than 1% of your capital on any one trade. And so if you do have a small loss, you can recover from it very, very quickly. Be mindful and aware of the behaviors that could sabotage you. This is one of the really important points in the psychology section and the philosophy of trading, is that there are certain behaviors that you're engaged in that need to be broken, maybe, because if you've had losing trades, you need to break those before you can be successful. And one of the things that is really, really important is managing your emotions. You can't eliminate your emotions altogether, but you can manage them better. The fear of losing is twice as strong as the exhilaration of winning. So when you have a losing position and you're losing money, it's extremely emotional, and you have to be really cognizant of that. And you also have to be aware that this might drive your decision-making process. You need to step away, and you need to think about it very, very clearly. And you also have to have defined targets. And so when a stop loss is hit, you need to get out. And when a profit target is hit, you need to get out. You don't have any other choice in between. So that's why it's very important before you get into a trade that you actually know exactly where you're going to get out before you get into that trade, whether it's a stop loss or it's a profit target. Finally, the majority of the time you should be spent mastering the method. So whatever method you decide to choose, whether it's this method or any method or even a combination of methods, this will help you refine the strategy that you're using so you can become more profitable. If you don't master your method and you keep switching from one method to another method, then you're not going to be successful in the long run. You need to have a really good grasp of the method that you're currently using, and the method has to be profitable for you. So if you're using a method right now that is not profitable for you, you need to refine it to the point where you have totally mastered it so that you can make a profit. The rest of the time should be spent on mastering yourself. So mastering your emotions. Like Scott said, he does meditation. Anything that will help bring awareness to the current moment in time in which you're doing the trades, or when you're setting up the trades, you need to have a master of. You need to be the master of yourself, and so you can decide when to enter and when to exit, and not do it based purely on anything that's spontaneous. Spontaneous is great in life, and that's part of the joy of being alive, is that you can do things spontaneously, but you don't want to do that in trading. You want to treat it as a business, and you want to be able to get into positions that are well defined and the risks are well defined ahead of time. And so now we're going to go into the second section of the video. Hope you enjoyed the first section already. I'm pretty excited about learning all this stuff, even though there's some things I already knew. Scott has started to explain it in a way that's really simple to understand, and I think you're really going to enjoy the second section. So let's get to that right now.